Right now, there are voices across the country calling for stricter gun control. While California advanced new bills today, when it comes to federal regulation, what can President Biden do on his own without congressional support? CBS 8's Shannon Handy asked a legal analyst and has the answer.
That expert I spoke with says President Biden can use his executive powers to implement certain measures that deal with gun violence, but those powers are very limited. Just hours after yet another tragic school shooting, President Biden said it's time for America to act.
As a nation, we have to ask, when in God's name are we going to stand up to the gun lobby?
It's a conversation we've all heard before, including after the Sandy Hook shooting 10 years ago, yet no significant gun laws have passed. Some question why the president can't use his executive powers. According to legal analyst Dan Eaton, it's because they're limited.
A lot of the powers that the president has deals with the extent to which and how he enforces existing laws, rather than creating new laws and regulations.
For example, President Biden can direct existing infrastructure like the background check system to operate differently, or use trade policies to control how many guns wind up on our streets. Following the San Bernardino shooting in 2015, President Obama took certain executive actions, including requiring that the Social Security Administration turn over records of people deemed mentally ill to the federal background check system. He also ordered the ATF be more aggressive in enforcing a law requiring people who are, quote, engaged in the business of selling firearms to conduct background checks. Beyond that, Eaton says you need congressional support.
President Biden can change the conversation, yes. The question, though, is what can he do effectively in the face of a resistant Congress?
What about appointing a so-called gun czar? Eaton says their powers will be limited as well.
What a quote-unquote gun czar would do is he or she would look at the various laws and regulations, make recommendations for bolstering the enforcement of existing laws, and suggesting regulations where there is some sort of authority to do so.
At this point, Eaton says it's going to be up to local and state officials to enact their own laws related to gun control. California advanced new bills today with more expected to follow.
Government can do something at the local, state, or federal level, but that still begs the question of whether that something is going to be effective in preventing a shooting.
Shannon Handy, CBS 8.